Hello everyone, welcome back to one more video session. This session is not a lengthy session, it's a small session. I'm just covering some concepts of the chapter Neural Control and Coordination, which could be asked in your NEET examination. So this session is only for NEET students, okay, exclusively for NEET students. Okay, extra information. Here, let me just write the receptor. So in this session, I'll be speaking about the receptors which is associated with the smell, taste, and even touch. What type of receptors we have in our nose or in our skin, that is for touch, and even present in our tongue for taste. Okay, and after that I'm going to give you the different types of nerves and its function. That is also superficial concept. I'm not going to explain it in detail. That is how many cranial nerves we have and the names of the cranial nerves in order. So order should be, you have to recall it. Okay, so you have to mug up that the order of the different types of cranial nerves. And after that, spinal nerves, how many spinal nerves are there and what are they. Okay, so first we'll talk about the receptors. So first, let me write the receptor which is associated with the taste. So that is present in our tongue, so the organ tongue. So what type of receptor you see? You see a type of cells. They actually take up this particular stimuli, and then they forward it in your brain, and you feel the taste. Okay, so chili. Okay, what is the taste of it? Like that. Here we'll write the receptors. They are called as gustatory receptors. So these are the receptors or cells which is associated for or with tongue or for taste. Okay, so we go to the second one. That is smell. Okay, so smell. So these are the cells which is present within our nose or nasal passage. Okay, so what you call for that, and the receptors are actually nothing but called as olfacto or olfactory receptors. So we just write olfacto receptors. Okay, so simple. The last one, that is touch. Okay, so that is nothing but skin. And always remember, this word could be asked for NEET. Okay, what type of receptors are present for touch? That is nothing but cutaneous receptors. The meaning of cutaneous is nothing but skin itself. Okay, so cutaneous receptors. So these are the three different types of receptors which is associated with taste, smell, and touch respectively. Okay, so please write down this, important. And now let me erase it and go for forward. I will talk about it's very difficult, as I said in my previous session, that it is not white marker board. You could see the traces. Okay, fine. Okay, now nerves. We will talk about different types of nerves in our body, and we have two different types of nerves, that is based on the origin of nerves. If they origin from the base of the brain, then it is called as cranial nerve, because brain is situated within the cranium, correct, skull. Whereas if the nerves originate from the spinal cord, they are called as spinal nerves. So first we go with the first type, that is cranial nerves. Okay, cranial nerves. Okay, how many cranial nerves we have? We have 12 pairs. Okay, so we have 12 pairs, and that actually includes both afferent nerve fiber as well as efferent nerve fiber. What is afferent? From the site of stimuli to the CNS, that is afferent nerve fiber. From the CNS to the site of stimulus, that is actually through efferent nerve fibers. Okay, whatever it is, cranial nerves or spinal nerves, they actually make afferent as well as efferent nerve fibers. Okay, so we just write the first type of cranial nerve, which is actually called as olfactory. So the first one we write So these are the 12 pairs of cranial nerves. You have to mug up this. Okay. So we have triple O, 1, 2, 3, olfactory, optic, and oculomotor. Okay. And the function is also already given here. That is sensory. Olfactory means sensory. Okay. Olfaction, that is smell. So optic also sensory, that is vision. Okay, so like that. Oculomotor means it is motor, help in locomotion and movement and controlling of the skeletal muscles. Trochlear is nothing but motor, again same. So whereas we have this one, the fifth one is trigeminal. What is it? Mixed. It controls both sense as well as motor functions of the body, okay, in the facial region. And we have obtusense. Remember, could be asked earlier NEET paper, this was there about obtusense, that is a motor neuron, okay, cranial nerve. Or you get a question like name the fifth cranial nerve. Oh, sorry, the sixth cranial nerve, that is obtusense. Okay, so like that it could be asked in order. Okay, so facial, auditory, you get a question like name the ninth cranial nerve, that is glossopharyngeal, that is mixed in the sense. Yeah, sensory as well as motor, like that. Vagus is the 10th one, commonly asked question, so note this point. Okay, so these are the 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Okay, so you just have to write it down, and then whenever you have time, just recall this. Enough recalling is more than sufficient. Just before the examination, just see this, because you cannot retain the memory of these things, because there are 12, and you may forget this. So just before the examination, just read it, and then make some short codes for it, like OLOPOC, like that, TRO try, like that. Okay, so you can remember it. Okay, fine. So now we'll go to the next nerve. Okay, so that is, yeah, it's very very hard to erase. The next one is very simple. That is the spinal nerves. So how many spinal nerves we have? Don't worry. Okay, so spinal nerves we have 31 pairs. Here I'm not going to write all 31 names of the spinal nerve. We just write, because we all know that like in the vertebral column we have vertebrae, correct? So in that vertebrae there is a spinal canal is there, that is nothing but a nerve canal, neuron canal, sorry, nerve canal, through which actually the spinal cord runs. Okay, so through the edges, so the spinal nerves comes off. Okay, so from the spinal cord, the first one, like simple, there are five parts, we can easily understand this. Let me write it. Okay, so this is the five different types of spinal nerves. It is actually classified based on from which part of the vertebral column these spinal nerves originates. That's it. Cervical spinal nerve, that is nothing but they originate from the cervical part of the vertebral column. Okay, so cervical we have, I think, 8. So we have 8, and thoracic we have 12, and lumbar spinal nerves we have 5, and sacrum, that is sacral spinal nerves, we have 5. So 20, 30, and coccygeal we have only 1, because coccyx bone is fused. Okay, so these are the different types of spinal nerves, and ultimately makes 31 pairs of it. Okay, so this is not explanatory video session. It's simply like giving you the information of different types of cranial nerves and spinal nerves, and the receptors for taste and smell, and also for touch. Okay, so that's all about from this session. Just write down all these things and copy it.